good to be back in the CyclingTom shed. I've obviously got a lot of videos up my sleeve. I definitely want to get back on the Canon Got a lot of videos I want to film with the Scott Foil GT40 build this year. Alright, so down to the packages. Obviously these are from Shimano New Zealand. Late last year, Taylor Gunman from Shimano New Zealand, he hit me up and he asked me if I wanted to do some reviews and start like a bit of a partnership with Shimano New Zealand. Obviously, if you look at all the bikes I have around here, I've got the Scott that's got Duros DR2 in it, I've got my race bike that's got Ultegra DR2 in it, and I've got my time trial bike that also has Ultegra DR2 in it. I'm clearly a bit of a Shimano fan, so I'm really excited to be working with them. But yeah, late last year he asked me if I wanted to do a review of the new Shimano bars, and that's what he sent me here. And I've also got another box from Shimano, but this one is for the next video. Alright, so obviously this isn't a true unboxing. I've opened the box a little bit, but I haven't fully opened it, so we can do a little bit of an unboxing now. Shimano has sent me, as you can see there, the new Vibe AERO Alloy Pursuit bars. And he informs me these are the same ones that Aaron Gate used to win Tour of Southland, so I'm pretty excited to get these open. So yeah, obviously just the package just comes like this. It has a few bit of the instructions on the back, but yeah, pretty basic, we don't really need that. So now we get the bars out of the little wrapper. Ooh, those look absolutely sick. It's got like a matte black finish, but you can see like the Pro Vibe and gloss black on the top. So yeah, I opted for the 40s in these because that's just the bars that I've been using like for the last 5 years, but they come in lots of different flavors, as you can see. And then also they were nice enough to send me out the Shimano race control handlebar tape, just in black, just like normal. And this is all going to go into my Cannondale. Alright, so my one concern is that these bars are obviously integrated, as you can see. So basically the cables run through from the shifter into there and they kind of pop out there. And there's obviously nothing wrong with that because that actually makes them really cool. But the problem is Maddie's not here and we have my mechanicking skills to do it, and I want to put them on tonight. Alright, I've just given the wheels a bit of a pump up, but this bike is absolutely filthy along with literally every other bike in the shed. So I think tomorrow I'm going to have to give these all a bit of a wash because they need a bit of a birthday, like a decent wash. But tonight I'm going to work on taking off these zip bars and then I'll put on my brand new Pro Vibe AERO Pursuit bars. So I built up this bike probably just over a year ago, and if you followed the videos when I built it up, obviously I put on this absolutely ginormous 130, I don't know if you can see it, but the 130mm zip sprint stem, which some people like and some people don't. But I also fitted it out with these alloy zip bars, and these are like the classic drop ones. So as you can see, it's got like that old-fashioned like classic drop there. So these new Pro bars are actually going to be quite a bit of a change. It's got quite a modern drop there, which is not exactly what I've been using because it's quite a flat drop. This has more of an angled drop. So all that white stuff that you see on the handlebars is just like a big build-up of like salt from like your sweat and stuff. So it is always good if you don't check your bars and take your bar tape off lots, and you do a lot of indoor training or you're quite a sweaty person, definitely take your bar tape off every like 6 months and replace it because it can get pretty gross. Alright, we've got the bar tape off, so obviously the next step is we need to take the Wahoo mount off, and then we're going to take the shifters off, cut all these little bits of tape, and then disconnect the shifters, and then take the bars off the stem. So obviously the zip bars are off, so we'll do a wee bit of a comparison between these are the zip ones here, And then these are the Pro ones here. So they have like a really fat top. It's meant to be obviously like an aerodynamic feature on the bar. I think it's also meant to be like comfy when you're holding it while you're climbing and stuff as well. The reason I like it is because I like to get down like that little aero tuck, kind of like that, when I'm doing road races and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be quite helpful for me, and I'm excited to give that a go. But yeah, a little bit of a side-by-side comparison there. Obviously I've got a little bit of a theme going on. I've got a climber's bike technically, but I've got a sprint stem on it, aero bars and 75 Dura-Ace wheels. So basically everything you put onto an aero bike I've put onto my climbing bike. I think these Pro Vibe Aero Alloy Pursuit bars actually look really good on this bike. So yeah, we'll get the shifters on, we'll try and get some of the bar tape on. Alright, so obviously before I actually tighten anything up properly, or before I put any bar tape on, I'm going to just take it outside, just go for a little bit of a ride, make sure that the shifters are in the right spots, and make sure that the bars feel like they're in the right spot and that they're centered as well, before I even start putting any of the other stuff on and cutting cables and stuff. Alright, so the bars are installed on the Cannondale. So this is basically what they look like. Obviously I still need to run the internal cables, but I'm probably going to get Maddie to do that when he gets here. I think they look pretty cool. They're real different, like aerodynamic. I've never actually had any of these like aerodynamic like integrated bars. I've always had bars, normal round bars where the bar tape comes all the way to there. I've never actually had any exposed alloy on my bars before. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that feels like when I ride. But yeah, it's actually a real nice afternoon now. It's actually got quite warm. So I think it's about time that I actually get on my bike and head out for a ride and test them out. Bars. My initial thoughts are they do feel a little bit wider than the other bars, my zip ones, even though they are technically the same. And they actually feel a little bit more comfortable because I actually have quite wide shoulders, so I think probably, so yeah, initial thoughts, they actually feel quite good. I'm just heading up a little bit of a climb at the moment, and I'm using like the aerodynamic top bit, as you can see just there. And it's actually bloody comfortable to have your hands on there. Pretty decent size for my hand. Feels pretty comfy to have my hand there, so yeah. First impressions, they are really nice bars. I'll be interested once I get a little bit more race fit to actually use them and try and get down that aero tuck position. Alright, so my initial thoughts on the bars are they actually feel really comfortable. The only thing that I slightly notice is that they actually feel like they're almost like a few centimeters longer than those they feel like they're a few centimeters longer than the zip bars. So if you have a look at like the profile, you can see that they slightly come out, where I think the zip ones are more straight out of the stem, whereas these ones kind of swoop up a little bit, and I think it adds a few centimeters to the reach, because I felt like I was reaching a little bit more than I normally would. But yeah, other than that, they felt really comfortable to ride with, nothing crazy. I really need to get into like a race situation so I can actually see how comfortable like the flats are here. So when I get down on my like aero position, obviously you like rest your arms like that, you have both your arms there. I feel like that's when they're really going to come into their own apart from those other bars. So yeah, that's a quick overview of my new Shimano Pro Vibe bars. Let me know in the comments if you think they're better on my bike than the zip bars, or if you preferred the zip bars. But yeah, that is going to be the end of today's video. In the next video, we're going to try and get both of these my custom built bikes, obviously the Scott foil and the giant Trinity TT bike. They're both kind of working, kind of not working, so we're going to try and get both of those back up and running. But yeah, if you haven't given this video a like, please give it a like down below. It does help out a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already.